Hello, beautiful and powerful women. Welcome to Susan Unleashed. This podcast is for any woman who wants to live a gorgeous life on her terms and who knows that not only is being a woman enough, it is the key to everything. I'm your host, Susan Elizabeth, certified professional coach, #1 best-selling author, and Energy Leadership Index master practitioner. I fiercely support women who are passionate about elevating their lives while embracing their truest selves. Are you ready to unleash your power? Hello, beautiful and powerful women. This week, I want to talk a little bit about values. What are values and how to live in your values? I kind of knew what my values were, I thought. I kind of knew what values were, I thought. And I didn't really know what values were or my values until I started way back in 2004 with my life coach. And right at the beginning, we started with my values work. So I'm going to share a little bit about what that is, and then what values are, and then how to live in your values. So every single person has their very own set of exclusive and unique values. I discovered my sacred values through my coaching journey and through some deep, heartfelt questions that were asked of me, and going through this process of unearthing and excavating my values. And values we can hold anywhere from about 10 to 12 values, generally speaking. And values usually don't change a lot over your life. They can evolve and grow with you, and one or two can change out over time. I know mine have, as I've evolved and grown as a human being and as a woman. So values, they are a part of you, and they help you in guiding all of your decisions that you make. Values are a part of our core being. There's something that, as they're a part of you, they guide my behaviors, they guide my decision making, they guide everything that I do. I pass everything that I'm doing through my values. My values are just a part of who I am, so I don't even need to think about it much anymore. But they help me to determine what is important to me. And before I had my values, I was just kind of shooting from the hip. I was just kind of making decisions that I thought best for me. And we all know what's right for us and what's not right for us. But you go to a deeper level when you understand who you are and what your values are. And then you can pass decision making through what values that you have. These will guide your behaviors. These will guide your decision making. I think you can also say that they're also the motivators behind our actions as well. And they're very personal. They are a part of our personal belief system as well. Their values are things that are very important to us. So while they are deeply personal, they're also emotional. They are subjective, and like I said, they do guide our behavior. So I'm going to share with you some of my values in a minute. They're pretty cool. When I guide people that I coach, sometimes people will come to me to just start with some values work, and other times they want to do values work and strengths work and energy leadership work. So when we go through values, it doesn't take very long. I send out a questionnaire, and I ask some questions that you will answer before our call. You will fill those in. I like them to be sent to me in advance so I can take a look at those and prepare for our call together. Then we go through a process on our call where we're discussing your answers to the questions, and we're pulling out and digging your values. Now, because I do the work ahead of time, I'm already pulling out your values. I'm already starting to name those and putting those down on a piece of paper from the answers that you gave, because I'm noticing patterns. I'm noticing some key things in your answers. And when you go through the process of obtaining your values. And maybe you've already had them from somewhere else in your life, either another coach or through the values process. The values work that I do is a little bit different than everybody else that I've seen. I learned them from my coach. I've also learned my values training through my IPEC training, which is the Institute for Professional Excellence in Coaching, which is where I got my training, coach training, education, and certification. So I've taken a combination of these two things and I've made them my very own for what I teach to my clients. So values are unique and exclusive to you. And then once we arrive at your values, you try them on, you see how they feel for you. I help write those down on a document for you. I send it to you. I keep a copy for myself. And as we're going through coaching, I'll have your values in front of me. And I recommend you have them on your computer, your phone, at your desk, so you can become familiar with them as you're living your life, as you're making decisions in your life, and allowing them to guide you on what's important to you and not important to you. And these things really work. So some of my values, I kind of have it like an overall umbrella statement of wealth of the soul. I think that's important to me because who I am and what I stand for and what I believe in, it kind of fits who I am. So this kind of this overarching statement of wealth of the soul. One of my top values is beauty and the divine feminine. And I think that speaks for itself. But because I am an artist and designer since I was a little girl, that's one of the things that it was a talent and a gift that I was born with. One of the things that I need is to be around beauty, to design beauty, to create beauty, to be in beauty or bring beauty to me. And the divine feminine is that part that is a part of beauty, but it's also the feminine part. It's that part of myself. It's that part of beauty and the divine feminine that I need to be in and around. That is my true self. And I know at times when I get out of my feminine and way too much in my masculine, I am not living in my authenticness, in living in beauty and living in my divine feminine. And I have to come back and correct myself, not make myself wrong, but correct myself to really just get back in what my natural state is. Another value mine is expansive elevation. And this is all about adventure and fun and play, because think of this. When you elevate and expand, you're going out and you're living life. You're trying new things. You're having adventure. You're having fun. You're playing. And I make sure that I have to design in my life fun and play and adventure because it lights me up. It's just fun. I'm a better person. I'm releasing this playful part of me, this joyful part of me, this fun part of me, this part of me that needs to have this adventure, to go explore, to have fun and play, whether it's playing with my girlfriends or playing with my husband or going out and just playing with life. Another one is deep love. I'm a very, very deep feeling, deep sensing, very highly intuitive person, and I connect very, very deeply with people. And deep love is important. I think love is such a vital part of our lives, and I think it's really just speaks for itself. Deep love. If I don't have deep love, either for myself or for others, or have that deep connection, I know I'm going to be seeking it. And so I've had to be very careful of how I've sought that in my past, because I've made decisions before I really lived in my values where I was looking for some deep love, but it didn't fully serve me. So it's that deep love of self first. And when I really learned how to do that, I was finally able to attract into my life that deep love from my life partner, my now husband. And I have that deep love from my family. I have it from some of my friends, and I feel very, very blessed and fortunate to have that in my life. But it's also a value of mine, so I make sure I get that value met. Another one is being of service, and I think that fits so well into the corporate career that I've had, where I was being of service in a leadership position. I was serving my departments, my teams, and then also now really serving the women that I coach and the groups of women, the one-on-one coaching that I do, the classes that I teach. the the things that I do and create, being of service is very, very important to me. And I also love to be of service for animals. I'm a huge animal welfare advocate, and I want to help animals to have the best lives that they can have. So that's a real soft spot for me. Another one is passion, pleasure, indulgence, and delight. Yes, that is one value, all of that, all four of those words. I think it's pretty straightforward. Another one is purposeful creating. I know that when I live in my state of creation, when I'm creating, I'm really living in my true purpose, my true passion, and what I'm desiring to do. I came here to create in this lifetime. I came here to serve. I came here to create. And when I do very purposeful creation and creating, boy, am I living in my sweet spot. It is so good when I'm doing this. I'm creating things for the women I serve. I'm creating things in my life. It could be creating a meal for somebody. It could be creating a course, like one of my courses, whatever it is. I'm designing as well, like creating beauty. I need to be doing this. Another one is worldly. I love, I crave travel, meeting new people, experiencing new cultures, new foods, getting out and expanding my horizons. This gets back to expansive elevation, but then also very worldly, having experiences that are very worldly of the world. And whether it's international travel, national, domestic travel, or just going out experiencing all that life has to offer, from Michelin 3-star restaurants down to just a little cafe at the side of the road, whatever it is, I need to go out and be experiencing this to have these rich experiences in my life. Another one is liberation. This is all about freedom. It is so important for me not to feel caged, to not feel like I'm being held back or kept down. I need freedom. I need to have that liberation to go out and express myself as a creative woman, to go do what she came here to do in this lifetime. I also have high standards. Pretty straightforward. This is all about my integrity. I have very, very high integrity. It's about the richness and quality and integrity in my life. And I expect this, and I am this way myself, and I expect it of others. And I want to be around others who are like me in that regard. Trust. This one, I don't think this one was on my original values list, but this is one that I had a hard time trusting in my life. And I mean, the obvious reason why is because it was betrayed. When I've trusted in people, I have been betrayed. And because I'm very sensitive, I've had to learn how to trust. And trust is earned. So this is one that I now trust myself and know that I get to discern what I put out in the world. I can still be authentically me and taking a stand for and sharing my authentic self and my voice, which is the highest contribution that I can put in the world, and my creativity, which is myself. But I trust the universe, I trust myself, and I trust others with discernment, and I know that it is earned. Another one that I've created an entire course around is called Ripe, Wild, and Fierce, and this is about personal power and strength. And if you're curious about what that really is, head to my website, SusanElizabethCoaching.com, and check out my course, Ripe, Wild, and Fierce. You're going to read all about it there. That is my value. That is one of my values, and it's such an awesome value that I had to create a whole course around it and then go off and trademark it. Anyways, that's an amazing one. And I think the last one for me on my values is that I need to have safety, comfort, and security. Now, I also like to take risks and step into the unknown and go through change and transformation. But there's a part of me that absolutely requires safety, comfort, and security. I need this in my life. Pretty straightforward. You can imagine what that is. But if I don't have that, it's pretty painful for me. So I think I just want to kind of close with saying that make all your decisions through your values. Keep them right in front of you until you get to know them and get to live in those. And I learned that when I go live in my values, they really affect all the decisions. I float all my major decisions through my values. I actually pull out my value sheet when I have a big important decision to make, and I run through my values. Does this align with my values? Does this align, yes or no? Because when I've ignored my values, that is when my life was out of alignment. That is when I wasn't as happy or is in harmony. That is when I've actually had some challenges and some pain in my life, when I didn't live according to my values. So learning more about my values has really offered me deeper insights into myself and how to live the best life that I can by filtering things through them and figuring out how to move forward and be in harmony with them. So if you want to do any values work, I would love to help you create your values. And even if you don't want to do coaching, just doing values work is such a benefit in your life. Highly, highly recommend it. Okay, that's a little bit about values and how to live in your values. And I hope that you really got something out of this, because it's something that is a really cool tool and way of being that is a gift for yourself that will help you to live a life that is so much more in alignment with who you truly are, with more pleasure and flow and ease and joy. Okay, that's it for this week, and I'll look forward to seeing you in next week's podcast. Have a great week. Thanks for tuning in. If you enjoyed this episode, I would love it if you would leave me a review or share it with someone else who may enjoy it too. To stay connected with me, please head on over to SusanElizabethCoaching.com and make sure that you sign up for my tips on how to live an unleashed life full of passion and purpose. Until next time, go live an unleashed life.